Sorry, as I was saying, yeah, some of the common issues that I find. You've got the semi-western grip on a beginner player. You've got the spacing with them correct. And every single time they hit the ball, let's see if you can pick the issue. How it's happening when they've got the right grip there? Well, as I started the backswing, the palm, which controls the racket, went up to the sky. If that happens there, well, then your strings are going to be open there. So that is one very, very, very common mistake. And to fix it, you actually have to get the spin, hold the racket looser, because that tension in the arm and hand and forearm in particular is what causes the strings to go up. If they relax and hold it like a 2 or 3 out of 10, you'll most of the time find out that it controls itself. Now, does that happen in one lesson? Not all the time. Sometimes, particularly kids, they get really nervous and they feel like holding it really tight will get the job done, and you see them doing all sorts of strange things on take back. So it's just good to try and get them to relax, and even if they feed a few balls themselves, throw a few balls out, reconnect, and really help stay relaxed and help with keeping the string in a palm down to the back. Another one you can say is make sure you do your semicircle and you pat the dog. Pat the dog. That can help as well. But really, you want to achieve that position naturally. You don't want to be forcing it. But that analogy can definitely help. Okay, some common issues on the two-handed backhand.
Oh no.
By far, the most common issue on the two-handed backhand is people not changing the forehand grip. They leave the hand, their dominant hand, whether it's right or left, on probably 3 Eastern or semi-Western. They leave it there. They just put their left hand or weaker hand on, and they take the racket back. And the issue with that is, you can see it straight away, the strings are pointing to the sky. And while there may be some pros who do take the racket back, the strings open, and then correct during the swing, it is very, 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 very hard for a novice to take the racket back and correct the swing halfway. So you have to address the grip. You've got to make sure there is a grip change from forehand drive in the ready position, using the non-dominant hand to bring the racket across onto number 2. And when you're starting, I highly recommend writing numbers on the grip just to help you out. It really does help. So that is the most common problem on the backhand. And just to fix it, you could just simply write a number 2 or do a few dots where the continental grip is, just to remind your students where it is, and they can have a visual representation of where they need to change to. So the backhand will go from looking like something like this. Oh no, I can't get it to go down and in. To something with a lot more rotation, a lot more arm. Putting a little dot, putting a little mark with a bit of black pen or something, just definitely fixes that issue. And I think I mentioned before, doing drills where you focus on hand feeding and changing grip in ready position. You could also just do a shadow drill like I'm doing now to work on ready position in front of the body. Forehand drive, form, change my grip. Okay, nice. Common issues on the volley. The most common issue on the volley by far is people standing at the net, swinging at the volley, standing there swinging. While you might get away with that at a very low level, if anyone gets with any pace towards you, like a forehand drive with a bit of topspin, you're not going to have any time to use the wrong grip, semi-western, go behind your body and swing. And you're also, even if you do have the correct grip, you're not really going to have time to bring the racket head behind. So with both of these issues, you've got to address the grip. So firstly, you have to be on number 2. And then I talk about it a lot with my students, but the body tilt. But basically, your butt has to go backwards. As soon as your butt goes backwards, the elbows will sink forward. So your butt, your hips sink backwards, they pivot back, and then the elbows just slide forward. A common mistake is I'll say, and coaches will say, elbows in front. Yeah, you do have to have the elbow and racket head in front. That is correct. But a lot of players stand there upright like this, amateurs, and then that is what they do to try and fix the problem. Well, they've put the elbows out in front, haven't they? But not in an athletic position. So you've got to be able to hip hinge, have the elbows out in front. That's the way to fix that issue.